Welcome back, everybody. Fast-moving show into our final half hour. We mentioned it off the top as we crown champions in the big school division in North Dakota over the weekend at the Dome. Bismarck Century captured the boys' title. The girls' title for the first time goes to West Fargo Horace. They were the best team all year long. They capped it off in style. They won all three of their games at state by double digits. Our next guest had double-doubles in all three games. Sources indicate to Hot Mike that's pretty good, as we are joined by state tournament MVP and now state champion from Horace High School. Jaiden Haile joins us here. The last time we chatted, we talked about making the senior year memorable after committing to Gonzaga. I guess mission accomplished on that.
Yeah, mission accomplished for sure. I'm gonna remember it for the rest of my life. And these girls, the girls I played with this year, they're so special, and I know they're gonna do such great things in the next few years.
When you started the year, the attention obviously was high. Everybody knew what you had back. Did you feel like you had a target? Like everybody thought you guys were the favorites this year?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it wasn't always reflected that way in the rankings
Yeah.
necessarily, but it felt like every game we played, it was the other team's best game. And whether it was our best game, it was
Right.
their best game. And we'd be looking at the stats at halftime, and they're making shots that, weren't on the scouting report. We weren't, prepared for necessarily. And as the season moved on, we just kind of realized every team was going to come out and play us like it was the state championship game. Like that was their state championship.
What was that
And
like?
so
Yeah, what was it like to deal with it at every game? That you're getting everybody's best shot.
I feel like I got better. I got more used to playing under pressure.
Mm.
And for the other girls on the team, for the younger girls, I think they kind of got to see what it was like for us to deal with adversity. And maybe, me, Lake, and Joe not always having our best game, and what it was like for other players to step up and then for us to play through that. And I hope that, in the next few years, they keep those memories in mind, because
Well,
it's not always going to be easy.
well, that's a perfect segue to what Saturday night was, because Keeley comes up and scores 20
Yeah.
points, and I know she's capable of that, but to have that in the state championship game in her last game, that's something special.
Oh my gosh, so special. I was so proud of her. And it's so funny because she's making these shots, and in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, why hasn't she been shooting these the whole year? What's going on? And it happened in practice all the time. She's always canning threes from like 4 feet behind the line, and I'm just like, what is going on? And they dared her to take the shots, and they went in, and I was so happy, so proud of her, because I think that was such a great way for her season to
Yeah.
end, because she's not going on and playing. So for that to be her last game, like how special.
How did you deal knowing, especially at state, that you're going to get doubled, you're going to get tripled? That's kind of, it happens all the time. How did mentally you adjust for that, especially at state, knowing we're not going to let 35 beat us?
Yeah, I think, him said before every game, we're going to win in every way that the other team lets us win.
Mm.
So if that means Lakin is being, face guarded and they're sending another when she touches the ball, then Joe's gonna step up. I'm gonna step up. If they're running a triangle and two and sending two at me at all times, then Lakin's gonna hit big shots. Taylor, Keeley, and that was the mentality that we took going into it. And I honestly, like, going into the state tournament, I did not have a single, like, I want to score this many points.
Mm.
I want to get this many rebounds. I just wanted to win, and whatever that meant.
So the final seconds are coming off the clock. What's going through your mind on the bench? What are you thinking about?
I wasn't at the bench. I was standing at the free throw line on the other side of the court. We weren't sure if they were going to try and score or not. And I look over, and Jordan Christopherson, is all of a sudden, she's got tears in her eyes, and I'm looking up the clock, and there's 16 seconds left, and I'm like, Joe, no, like there's still time left in this game. But I think that we were just so close as a family, and for it to kind of end, it was really bittersweet, because obviously we went out on a win and it was so happy and amazing. But now I am missing the fact that we don't have practice today. Like, that's honestly how close we are, which is so crazy. Like, how special is that? The
Mm.
fact that you've got 20 girls being like, why don't we have basketball practice today? Like, what the heck? I think that's honestly why we were able to be so successful because we just loved showing up for each other every day.
I know we talked a while ago when you got probably your first offers, and this is even before Horace had played a varsity game. I mean, just this is that's a long road. And what if just to encapsulate that over the last 4 years, like you got starting in college attention before you guys even played a varsity game.
Yeah, actually, I feel like me and my mom have talked about this a lot over the last few days because it's like leading up to the state tournament, everyone was kind of asking me, "Are you thinking back over your career?
Yeah.
Like, what are you thinking?" And I honestly hadn't gotten there yet. Like, I felt like I had unfinished business. Like, I wasn't going to look back at an unfinished career. So now that it is over and I have kind of been contemplating, it felt like for me, it happened like overnight.
Mm.
Like all of a sudden, I had a Division 1 offer. All of a sudden, we were playing as a varsity program. Like it wasn't like I saw it from coming from a mile away. Like I just felt like one day I woke up and I could just do it. And that was so like surreal to experience because now looking back and I'm like, oh my gosh, 14-year-old me was in way over her head. Like what was going on? Um, but it did allow me to help Jordan and Lakin,
Yeah.
kind of transition from playing, JV 2 years ago. We all played JV, but those two especially, they were only in seventh and eighth grade. And playing full varsity and now like being all tournament team, all region. The all state teams haven't been announced yet, but all those things to help them manage those expectations is so fulfilling for me because I feel like I'm like healing my 15-year-old, 14-year-old self when I'm doing that.
Now that it's done with, what's today? Like yesterday, did you have your feet up? Like, what did you do yesterday after winning?
Yeah, I had my feet up. I oh my gosh. I just sat on the couch honestly the whole day.
Fantastic. Watch
Yeah.
basketball yesterday, I'm assuming, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Watched basketball. We watched the selection show. Um, we watched a bunch of Marvel movies, honestly. I was just like just dead. I had nothing left to give. And that's what I was telling, honestly, Coach Haynes at halftime, he's talking us up and I always talk to him, before we run out and I was like, Haynes, like, I got nothing left in the tank here. Like, this is all I got. Like, this is it. So yesterday was a chill, relaxing day.
I have to ask the loss last year to Bismarck, and you guys had a lot of hype around you last year to make it a state for the first time. How much, Jaiden, did that spur this year's team, the entire year?
Oh, the whole year.
Yeah.
I think honestly it was in the back of our mind every game. And that loss to Minot, actually, I
Mm.
think had that not happened, I don't know if we would have been able to win a state championship. Because it showed us, for one, we're not unbeatable and there's more room to work, like always be working, and that spurred us. I think after that our practices were more intense, they're more focused. Everyone had a goal in mind, and without those two losses I don't think we could have won a state championship this year.
Pretty good year so far for Horace with football and basketball. To be on the ground
Mhm.
floor, to be the first, what's that mean to you?
Oh, it means so much because I know, in the next few years, I guess I don't know this, but I hope in the next few years, people talk, about starting Horace and how it was so successful and about how we were able to build a culture in the last few years of winning. And that's not necessarily always getting a W, but I think that's winning in the classroom, winning in the weight room, um, culturally, like doing team activities, having fun. Those are all like winning traits of a good program. And I hope that those continue over the next few years, even after I'm gone.
I visited with your assistant coach, Macy Babbage, former Macy Quilvang, who was a high-ranked player. She went and played at NDSU and then
Yeah.
Valley City State. How much has her impact helped not only for you on the court, but she went through the whole recruiting deal as well. How much did Macy help for you, Lakin, and for Jordan?
Oh, for sure. She was a big help because it's really nice to know someone that like can feel how you feel or like they've experienced it and they can kind of help you through that. And even if it's not like directing you, in like actually telling you what to do,
Yeah.
but just like feeling for you and like having that empathy is so huge because you feel so isolated when it's happening. And like with social media, I feel like it kind of feels like everyone's getting recruited and everyone's going Division 1 basketball, and there's like a lot of hype, which is great because I think that's opening a lot of doors, but also at the same time, it makes you feel so alone. And so to have someone there
Yeah.
that's an adult that can help you manage those emotions is huge.
Did you keep the plaque? Like, who got the sign that says state champs? We know what happened to that.
Oh gosh, I have no idea. We left our EDC championship in the locker room. We had to go back for it. I turned around, I was looking at Megan and I was like, where's the plaque? And she was like, I Keely had it. And I was like, Keely had it. I was like, where is it now? And she was like, oh, I don't know. We had to go look for it.
That's who
Oh
was
gosh.
responsible for that? Whose job is it a senior's job to be responsible
I
for
don't
that?
know. Probably. It was probably my job. I probably missed the ball on it, to be honest.
Two last things before we let you go. You mentioned you were watching the selection show. Gonzaga didn't make the women's tournament. They're in the WBIT. They're going to play against,
Uh-huh.
I think, UTSA. So tell
Yep.
us what has Gonzaga told you to get ready, and what's the next steps here for basketball?
I mean, I think, they've definitely talked a lot about, my mid-range game and, getting more comfortable with the ball in my hands. And so especially for the Hawks, like that wasn't really my
Yeah,
role. And why would it be? Why would it be? With Lakin at the helm, I don't need to touch the ball. Lakin's got it.
yeah.
She can bring the ball up. That's fine. But just getting more comfortable and kind of showing off those skills more so. And then I'm always in the weight room. That's something I really enjoy doing. So that for me, I feel like not necessarily ahead of the game, but I'm definitely on track there. But just get ready, and I love the coaches so much, and they have such a good culture, and that's why I'm going there. So I'm really excited to get started. I know now that basketball's over for the Hawks, I got the countdown on. I'm like, oh, I'm ready to get started again.
And since you committed and signed, they're now going to the Pac-12. So you're going to be a
Yeah.
Pac-12 player. What when I say that, what goes through your mind?
Shock,
Yeah.
probably. Mostly because I had bigger offers and I chose not to go that route for a lot of reasons. And so to end up in that, place at the same time is kind of shocking to
Yeah.
me. But I think honestly, like that is it happened perfectly. I didn't go the bigger route. I could have gone to a few Power 5 schools, decided not to, and I ended up there anyways with a program and a team that's found so much success on and off the court. And I'm gonna get a great education. And I'm so blessed to be given this opportunity to, have the opportunity to work hard and go prove it.
They found you one way or the other. You're going to play Power 5 basketball one way or the other. Congratulations on a tremendous run. It's been fun to watch. Thanks so much for the time, and enjoy a couple more days off, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Jaiden Haile joining us off a state championship performance for Horace, state tournament MVP, as the Hawks win the AA title, joining football for Horace in the trophy case. I don't even know if they got one yet, but they better get one quick because they're starting to rack them up. What a great career. And now off. We'll watch her at Gonzaga beginning next year. Of course, they join the Pac-12 in the fall of 26. We'll take our final break. We can cut up on a couple emails and get you ready for a busy Sports Monday and a controversial food take we got to end the show with. We'll do that when Hot Mike wraps after this.